Welcome to Touring Globe. Picture this. You've been saving for months. You've booked the flights, picked out the perfect hotel, and spent countless hours daydreaming about beaches, cities, or mountains you're about to see. The day comes. You get on the plane, full of excitement, and after hours in the air, you finally land in your dream destination. You're smiling as you walk up to the immigration counter. But then, something changes. The officer flips through your passport, looks at your papers, and suddenly frowns. Within minutes, you hear the words no traveler ever wants to hear. "I'm sorry, but you can't enter. Your dream trip is over before it even begins." You're not being allowed into the country because of a visa condition you didn't even know existed. And the most painful part? You could have avoided it, if only you had known. This is not a rare story anymore. In 2025, hidden visa clauses are one of the biggest reasons people are being stopped at borders. Travel has become more complicated, and countries are adding new conditions that can trip up even the most experienced travelers. If you think a valid visa sticker in your passport is enough, think again. The fine print is now just as important as the visa itself. So what exactly are these hidden clauses, and why are they catching people off guard? Let's break it down. One of the biggest ones is the onward or return ticket requirement. Many people buy one-way tickets, especially if they plan to backpack or travel freely between countries. It feels flexible and exciting. But to immigration officers, a one-way ticket looks suspicious. They want proof that you plan to leave. Without a return ticket or onward journey, you might not even be allowed to board your plane. Imagine spending thousands of dollars on your flight and accommodation, only to be denied before your adventure even begins. This is happening every day to unprepared travelers. Then there's the mandatory travel insurance requirement. More and more countries are demanding proof of medical insurance, and not just any coverage. It often needs to meet specific conditions, such as covering certain medical expenses, emergencies, or even evacuation. Just last year, several tourists in Europe were denied entry because their insurance didn't cover COVID-related issues. In 2025, many countries have expanded this requirement. If you don't have the right paperwork, you may be forced to buy an expensive plan at the airport, sometimes costing hundreds of dollars more than what you would have paid in advance. Another rule that shocks many people is the proof of financial means. This means showing you have enough money to support yourself during your stay. For some countries, this might mean showing a bank balance or recent statements. For others, it could be a credit card with a minimum limit. Without this proof, immigration officers may suspect that you plan to work illegally or overstay your visa. In 2025, more nations are enforcing this than ever before. Tourists who thought everything was in order have been turned away simply because they didn't have the right paperwork in their bag. Accommodation requirements can also cause major problems. It's not enough anymore to say, "I'll book a hotel when I arrive." Some visas require proof of a prepaid hotel booking, and sometimes it must even be from a list of approved properties. Travelers planning to stay with friends or use platforms like Airbnb are often caught off guard when immigration asks for an official hotel receipt. And if you don't have it, you may be refused entry, even if you already have a valid visa. And let's not forget the passport validity clause. Many travelers assume that as long as their passport is valid during their trip, they're fine. But that's not true in most cases. Many countries require at least 6 months of validity beyond your return date. So if your passport is expiring in 5 months, even if your trip is just 2 weeks long, you may be denied boarding at your departure airport. Countless travelers have learned this the hard way, and it's one of the easiest mistakes to avoid, yet one of the most common. So where is this happening the most in 2025? Let's take a look. In Europe, the introduction of ETIAS means travelers from dozens of countries now need electronic pre-authorization. It's not as complicated as a full visa, but it adds another step that people often overlook. If you arrive without it, you won't get in. In Asia, popular destinations like Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam are tightening long-stay requirements. Tourists who plan to hop from visa to visa are finding it harder to extend their stays without proof of funds, onward tickets, or clear travel plans. In the United States, immigration officers are becoming stricter about checking return tickets, proof of accommodation, and sometimes even questioning visitors about their financial stability. Stories are surfacing of tourists being held for hours in secondary inspection because they couldn't show enough documentation. Even destinations known for easy entry, like parts of South America or Africa, are tightening rules. Some now demand proof of vaccines, yellow fever certificates, or extra health checks, especially if you've traveled from certain regions. These aren't just small inconveniences. Travelers have lost thousands of dollars because of them. There are families who had to buy emergency onward tickets at double the price, solo travelers forced to purchase overpriced insurance at the airport, and couples denied boarding because their passports were just weeks short of the 6-month rule. In some cases, entire vacations have been canceled on the spot. So how can you protect yourself? The answer is preparation. First, always check the official embassy or consulate website of your destination. Do this a few weeks before your trip and again just before you travel, because rules can change suddenly. Don't rely only on blogs, travel forums, or what happened last year, because what was true then may not be true today. Next, make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned return date. Renew it early if you need to. Don't risk cutting it close. Always carry proof of your return or onward flights, printed if possible. Immigration officers may accept digital copies, but a printed version often makes the process smoother. If you're staying in hotels, print your confirmations. If you're staying with friends or family, have a signed letter from them along with their address and contact information. Buy your travel insurance before you leave, and make sure it meets the exact requirements of your destination. Keep a printed certificate with you to show at the border. And finally, have proof of funds. Print out a recent bank statement or carry a credit card with a sufficient balance. Even if you're not asked for it, it's better to have it. Traveling in 2025 can be incredible. The world is open, destinations are booming, and experiences are waiting. But to enjoy those experiences, you need to be prepared. Hidden visa clauses are not always obvious, but they can make or break your trip. By taking a little extra time to prepare, you can avoid heartbreak, stress, and wasted money. So before you fly, double-check everything. Don't let your dream trip be ruined by something as small as a missed detail in the fine print. Travel smarter, prepare properly, and make sure that the only surprises you experience on your journey are the unforgettable ones. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe. See you in the next video.